Hear me?
Yes, Shankar.
Okay, so hope everybody has solved this SQL use cases. So any questions or queries on it? Anusha, did you get a chance to solve the
Yeah.
SQL use cases?
Yes, Venki. I
Yeah.
have completed.
Could you please share and explain?
Yes, Venki. Yes, Venki. Actually,
Yeah.
this is the employee database I have
Mm.
used, and this is the employee table.
Okay.
So first, the use case is identify the number of years of experience in the company for each employee in months. We need to.
Yes,
So
yes.
I have here used total. Need all the details from the employee table. I have used star, and for this month I have used date diff function.
Okay. Okay.
And from month and hire date I have used and get date as experience in month
Okay.
from this employee table. So
Okay.
I got in months.
Okay.
And second is identify the employees who are getting the second highest salary in the each department.
Yes.
So first I have used dense rank function.
Mm-hmm.
Using this I got rank
Okay.
like this, and then I have used these output I have taken as a single table as even. From
Mm-hmm.
this even I need second highest salary, right? So I have given here as a rank 2.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the output is here.
Okay.
Here just I tried to explore
Yeah.
what if I use a rank.
Okay.
And
Okay.
next identify the employees who are getting the second lowest number in the each lowest in each department. So I have used the same thing, but here I have done ascending. So
Okay.
I will
Okay.
get it in the lowest one, right?
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
1 second, the output is in this way. And
This.
next identify the employees who are earning more than the average salary. So first I have taken average salary from the employees, then I have took all the employees.
No, this is not the case here, right? So
Mm.
you have to identify the employees who are earning average salary of their department. That's the that's
Okay.
the that's
Okay,
the
okay. I just noted
example.
in this way. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine. No
Next
problem. Yeah.
is the retail database.
Okay.
So from these, just created these tables, four tables: product
Okay.
table, order details, customer table, and order.
Okay.
So for this one, I identify top three products, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
for that, I selected product ID, product name. Um, wait. From here, I will explain and then okay. Select product from product table. I need product ID and product name, and we need top three products, right? So I have taken as order details from the order details table. I have taken quantity and I have used some function here, and I am aliasing it as total quantity sold. From
Okay.
this, I have used row number. For this row number, I need some order by sum of these quantity in the descending order.
Okay.
I am giving it here as alias row number from order
Okay.
details, and I'm joining the tables based on the common column IDs from product table, order IDs dot product ID and product dot product ID, and this way I have done. And at last I have given group ID, sorry, group by.
Okay.
From
Okay.
this I will get the thing in this way. Sorry. Yeah, in this way. So we need
Okay.
top three, right? I have used From this I need to get top three.
Okay. Okay.
And then top two customers who are spending more, right? So
Yes.
same thing I have applied here.
Mm-hmm.
So select customers ID from customers table, first name, last name, and month here orders dot order date.
Mm-hmm.
So we have order date in our orders table
Yes.
as
Yes.
order month, and also the total spending we need, right, total amount. So
Yes.
from the order details I have taken quantity and price, and I'm multiplying this one. Sorry, sum,
Okay.
multiplying them, and by using the row number I have given this thing.
Okay.
So
Okay.
descending order and as a row number.
Okay.
So
Okay. Fine. Good. Good. Okay. Got it.
yes,
Yeah. Thank you so much, Anusha, and really appreciate your efforts on practicing all these examples. This will really help you. I think by now you got some idea on how to
yes, I did.
write SQL queries, and how to do some analysis, and how to get some
Mm,
values out of the data that we have. So that will really help you, and really appreciate, Anusha. Thank you so much. Yeah.
thank you.
So let's see who else we have. Prakati.
Yes, Venki, I have solved, but now I can't share the screen. I was in
Okay.
phone.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. No problem. No problem, Prakati.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, Pablu.
Yeah, yes, Venki. Let me share my screen.
Yes.
You are able to see my screen.
Yes.
This was the employee table I have
Mm-hmm.
taken.
Mm-hmm.
I created employee table.
Mm-hmm.
This is the employee table.
Okay.
Columns are employee ID, employee name, birth date, hire date,
Mm.
department, and salary.
Okay.
First query is identify the number of years experience in the company for each employee in months.
Mm-hmm.
I have used this timestamp diff function.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This function will calculate the difference between
Mm-hmm.
two dates
Mm-hmm.
and the date time values.
Okay. Okay. So here you calculated experienced years as well as experience in months.
Months, yes. The
Okay.
query was we need to identify the number of years experience
Mm-hmm.
as well as number of months. How many months?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this years number of years experience 14 years and number of months like this.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Next, next query is identify the employees who are getting the second highest salary from each department.
Okay.
I've taken rank function.
Mm.
Based on the rank function I got.
Mm. Okay.
Uh,
So,
we got the first highest and department base first highest and second highest, third highest
mhm.
based on.
So one thing here, Pablo. So rank will give you wrong results, right? So let us take an example. Okay, you partition by department and you ordered by salary, correct?
Yeah.
So now in the IT department, you have 20,000 salary twice. Okay, you have 20,000 salary twice. So
Okay.
what your rank will do? It will give 1 1, and then 3 it will take.
It will give continuous rank and duplicates with same rank, and
Hmm.
it will skip continuous sequences.
Yeah, continuous sequence it will skip now. Then how you will identify the second highest? For example, your first salary is duplicated.
Yeah.
You ordered by salary, right?
Hmm.
So assume your first salary itself is duplicated. then in that case, how you will identify the second salary? You won't be able to, now, because it will give 113.
Yes.
You got my point, Bablu?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So do that correction. Okay. Yeah.
But in this query also I tried in this row number by using row number. Is it
Mm,
possible?
yeah, a row number also fine, but the problem is row number doesn't work if you have, for example, let us take an
Duplicate.
example. You have 20,000 repeated. Uh,
Duplicate salary.
Now one, two, three it will give.
Okay.
So the second highest it will give the duplicate salary only, not the
Okay.
actual second highest. So dense rank is the proper function here, Bablu. So
Okay. Okay.
okay,
Okay.
so you got why I'm saying this, right? So row number, what it will do for every department, if you say you ordered by salary and you have taken the second highest, you need to take the second highest. If you
Second
use
highest.
the row number, what will happen? It will give, if your salary duplicated, right, 20,000, 20,000, 30,000.
Yeah,
Assume
it will give
these are the
continuous
salary.
sequence.
Continuous sequence, one, two, three. So when you query it second, what will happen? You will get to 20,000, which is not correct, right? You need to get second highest means uh, the next salary we need to get.
Yes, yes.
So that is the problem with the row number. And rank also, it won't give the second highest if your first salary itself is duplicated. So
Okay.
it will give three number, right?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I will correct it that one.
Yeah.
Next query is identify the employees who are earning the second lowest in each department.
Mm-hmm.
I have taken this row number and here order by salary ascending.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
This is the second highest lowest salary from each
Mm-hmm.
department.
Okay.
Next query is identify the employees who are earning more than the average salary.
Yeah. Who are earning more than the average salary
Average
of
salary
their
of a department.
departments.
Yes. This one I taken first this inner query. Select department as average salary.
Mm-hmm.
This alias as average salary from employee and group
Oh,
by
okay.
department.
Great, great. This is what the expectation is. So, Anusha, you try to get this query. So here, what we are doing. So first, we need to aggregate the department-wise average salary. Then we need to do the join with the parent table on the department number, so that we'll get the salary and average salary in the same table, and we can simply apply a where clause wherein salary greater than average salary. That's it, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the average salary and this is the more than average salary of each department.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
And this one I tried with subquery also without
Mm-hmm.
using join function.
Mm-hmm.
This taken as first select average salary of department.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this way also you can do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same this one.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
next query is
Yeah, fine, Bablu. That's okay. We'll proceed.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Bablu. Really appreciate your
Thanks, man.
efforts. Yeah. Who else we have? Ranganath, did you get a chance to complete the SQL queries?
Only average salary I worked on.
Okay.
Remaining tables I have created as per the like products orders you have to know. The tables I have created and only average salary I have done. Remaining I have no time due to some office work.
Okay. Okay. Fine. No problem, Ranganath. When you get some time, please try to solve those queries.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Let's move on to our today's session, guys. Today, our agenda is pretty clear. So we're going to see how we can integrate our Python and SQL, right? So till now, we have spent good amount of time in Python programming, right? We have spent good amount of time in SQL. We have seen a lot of functions. We have seen how to query the database. We have seen the major examples of SQL and Python. We have solved lot many Python examples. We have solved lot many SQL examples, right? And we have seen lot many functions in Python, lot many functions in SQL. We know how to write a Python program. We know how to write a SQL queries. But in real time, with respect to data engineering, you may frequently get an opportunity to integrate these two technologies. Meaning, so let us take a use case wherein you have a database table and you need to read the data with Python program and do some operations in the program and load it to some location or some place or some other table, it may be, right? So you will get this kind of use cases very often in real time. Okay, so you have a table in SQL Server, and you need to read the table, and you need to process the data, and you need to load it into Google Cloud Platform. Let us take an example. This is your use case, or you have a table, and you just need to read it and load it into Google Cloud Platform. This is one use case, right? So you will get these kind of use cases very often, right? So in data engineering, we should be able to understand how we will connect to a database externally, right? So till now, what we have done, we logged into the database system with a username and password. We created tables, we executed queries, and we have seen the results. That can be utilized only for the development purpose or testing purpose. The approach till now, or the learning that we have used, the platform that we have used till now, can be served only for the testing purpose. If you want to check the data in a table, if you want to see the data in a table, or if you want to check the counts in a table, or if you want to validate the data from a table, then only the platform that we have used will help you. But in real time, you need to develop applications. Be very, very clear. You need to develop applications, or you need to develop jobs. Okay. So, meaning you will develop a job that will read the data from a table and load it into any kind of a destination. Okay. This is your task. Okay. For this task, you cannot go and write a SQL by logging into the SQL server. Correct? You cannot do that. You need to build an application using Python or any of the programming language, okay, so that we can schedule that job on a regular fashion. Okay, we can schedule that job on a regular fashion. So regularly this Python program will execute, and it will go and read the data from a database by its own, and then it will load it into destination. For example, today the job has run, it has extracted today's records and loaded it into destination. And then again tomorrow it has to run and then extract the data and then load it into destination. Again, day after tomorrow it has to run. So in real time, you have to build this kind of applications. The job, automated job, will take care of doing this kind of extraction and loading the data, right? So this kind of jobs you need to develop in real time. So to develop such kind of jobs, we should be able to understand how we can integrate these two technologies. Okay, be very, very clear how we can integrate these two technologies. So here in I think we know Python, right? So we have already spent a month of time in Python, right? So at this point, if you ask me what is a variable and how to declare a variable and how to create a variable, it is very, very awkward, right? So you should be aware all the concepts we discussed in Python, and you should be able to remember. You should not learn and leave, right? So today we will try to see how we can build an application we will try to see how we can build an application. Yeah, Ranganath.
Uh, Linky, along with this connection, during the first task, Sai Teja has shown he used proper architecture like opening and closing,
Mm-hmm.
like some
Yes, 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 Ranganath.
three tier architecture will be there, no? Uh,
That is using OOPS, right?
yeah,
Yes, we have discussed the OOPS also, right, in Python.
oops also. Along with the connection, once can you tell that one also like how to segregate data like files I am unable to understand while creating a new project in Python. There are default files automatically creating directories.
Default files automatically creating. So what do you
Yeah.
mean by that? See, I didn't get your question, Ranganath. So you need to know how this OOPS will work. I'll suggest to go back and look at the recordings, okay, on OOPS. We have actually taken good examples in explaining OOPS concepts.
Not to think.
Mm.
While writing, we will segregate the code, no? Like business logic, presentation logic, database logic, we will write separately. No?
Correct.
Architecture, that one once explained like while creating a project. Like show me a live project example like that I'm asking.
Okay, okay, fine. I'll do that. I'll do that, Ranganath. Yeah. Okay. So fine. Let's start our discussion. So today we will see how actually we can integrate these database and Python connectivity. Okay. So here, if you see, this is a simple Python script. Okay. So to connect to a database or SQL server from Python, we have to use a library or inbuilt package in Python called PyODBC. Okay, so this PyODBC is a library package that is inbuilt in Python. Okay, if it is not coming in, you need to install it using the pip install command. Okay, so using the pip install command. So what is that command? So here, if you simply do pip install PyODBC, so it will install your ODBC PyODBC library. Okay, so PyODBC library. Now, once you have this library, once you have this library, you also need to install two more libraries. Okay, so pip install pandas. So pandas also we need, and then again pip install SQL altme. So these are the three libraries that we need to work with database and Python. Okay. So once we do pip install and once we have this PyODBC library, okay, with the PyODBC alone, you can still connect with database. Okay, so these two are enhancements. Okay, to do different activities, but PyODBC is alone sufficient to connect to a database system. Okay, so now let us understand how we are connecting. Okay, so we imported PyODBC package. We imported PyODBC package. Okay, and then we actually need to prepare our connection details. Remember, for any database in the world, you have to prepare the connection details before connecting to that database. Meaning, I need to connect to this SQL server database that is already running in my laptop. Okay, this database service is already running in my laptop. So I want to connect to this database service from the Python code. Okay, from the Python code. So now my Python environment doesn't know about the database service that is running in my laptop. Okay, now I need to give all my database details. Hey, the database server name is this. Okay, and the database which I am connecting to, and the user ID, password. Okay, user ID, password. So the server means the machine name. So if you click on the connect here, so connect database engine, you will get the details here, right? So the server name. Okay, so server name means where your database is running. So this is my laptop name. Okay, so because this server is running in my laptop, so it has given the server name as my laptop name. Okay, so that is what server name. Now you know about username and password. For every database to connect, we will have username and password. In real time projects, there will be a database administrative team, okay, who will actually create logins for you, and they will add your user to the database account. So as and when you get access to the company, your company email ID will get created, and with that email ID you can actually access the database system. So you need to raise a request to the database admin team to get access to any of the databases in your project. Okay. So once you raised, they will add your email ID to that database access roles. So then you'll be able to access the database. Okay, so that's how in real time it works. But here what we are trying to do, we have created a database system, and we installed it, and we set up configured, right? And then we are trying to connect with a username and password. Okay, and we have the server name, we have the username, and we have the password. Okay, so these details are mandatorily needed to connect to a database system. Okay, and now you see driver. So what is this driver? ODBC driver 17 for SQL server. So your Python is an environment, and your database is a different environment, and you have two different environment, and you need to connect from Python to a database system, right? So to establish the connectivity, or to communicate with the database, you need a medium in between. Okay, so that medium is this driver. Okay, so your SQL server, as and when it creates the database software, it will also provide these kind of drivers or libraries to support external applications. Okay, so from a external application standpoint, if anybody wants to connect to my database system, so these drivers they can use as a medium to connect. Okay, so now by using this driver, it will actually tries to connect to the database. So we are providing all our details. Okay, and it will go and ask this driver, hey, we have these details, could you please establish the connection to the SQL server database. Then this driver will actually being utilized as a medium between the Python environment and the database environment. So now you have given all your connection related information, and you have told your Python saying, hey, use this driver, ODBC driver 17 for SQL server. So where we will get this driver? When you install PyODBC library, this driver will automatically comes in this library. Be very, very clear. The driver will automatically comes along with the PyODBC package. Okay. So now I think most of you are clear here, right? So how we prepared our connection string. Any questions here till here till line number 9?
Yeah, so will there be the driver versions and
Yes,
compatibilities
the
that we
driver.
need to make sure?
Correct. The driver versions and compatibilities are very important. Okay. So we need to see what is our Python environment first and what is the PyODBC version that we are using. Okay. The compatible driver we need to actually specify here. Okay. So for example, PyODBC package you installed fourth version. Okay. Fourth version, you will get the driver version as 16. Okay, PyODBC 5 you installed, you will get the driver version as 17. For example, if I mention here driver version 13, it won't work. Okay, the reason is these are tightly coupled, the driver and PyODBC. So along with the PyODBC version, you need to also check which driver it is having. Okay, so that you can actually see by checking in the Google or checking in the PyODBC documentation. You can easily find that details.
Yeah. So on the same goes for the different databases, right? Like MySQL.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes, yes. Okay, any other questions?
Will this one get changed like ODBC driver 17 from SQL Server? So if it is 16 or 15, the syntax will get changed or same?
No, no, syntax will be same. Here version name will be changed, that's it.
Okay, so that means ODBC driver for SQL Server will be same. The version
Yes,
alone will get changed. All the time.
yes,
Okay.
yes. I'll execute and I'll show you the difference.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are using PyODBC package to connect to a database system, and we prepared our connection details. Finally, these two things clear, right? Everybody?
Same
Yes.
syntax for like different databases also.
Yes, same syntax. Okay. For Oracle, you may need to find a different driver. That's it. But syntax wise, it is same. You need to import ODBC. You need to prepare your connection details. Everything is same. But the driver may be different for Oracle. You may need to use some JDBC driver or something. Okay, Ramana.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So fine. Now we have the connection details. We have created a variable. So what is this? Okay. So we have created a variable called connection string. Okay. And we used this tuple to create our connection string. Okay. And then here, if you see, we are actually creating an object called CONN. It may be the name may be different. Okay, you can give your own name, but for the first step, you need to create a connection object. Okay, so that connection object will be created like this: PyODBC dot connect, and you will pass your connection string. Okay, and you will pass your connection string, and then you will create a cursor to execute your queries. So cursor meaning it's an object that will be given from your connection. Okay, and using this object you can execute your queries. Okay, so here if you see, CONN is a connection object. By using that object, it will actually establish the connection, step 1. Okay, and you have the cursor object which will be derived from the connection object, okay, which will be derived from the connection object, and this cursor object will be utilized to execute the queries. Be very clear, this cursor object will be utilized to execute the queries. Okay, so let us start. So we'll go to this phase later, but let's execute our DDL commands first, okay, and then we will see how actually our code is behaving. Okay, fine. So here if you see connection equals to PyODBC, you already imported this package dot connect connection str, okay, and then cursor equals to connection dot cursor. So you have created connection object and you have created cursor object. Now you need to prepare your SQL query. Okay, you need to prepare your DDL query or SQL query or whatever it is. Okay, so let me prepare that. So I already have created one dummy table. Let me drop it out. Okay, so I have dropped this table. So let me go here. So I'm preparing my query. So what is my query? Create table emp underscore odbc. Okay. So what is the create table syntax? I have ID and of integer type, name of varchar of 100. Okay. So this is my create table query. So this query may be different, guys. So you can give your own table creation. So for the simplicity, I'm giving ID and name. That's it. Okay. So create table, table name, column name type, column name type. Okay. So you can give your constraints. You can give your data types, different data types. You can add more columns. You can do whatever you want. But here for the simple flexibility, I'm giving this simple example. Okay. So here if you see, I'm actually executing okay. So here what I'm doing, I prepared my query and I assigned it to a string variable. Okay, before that I have my cursor object and connection object. So here if you see, once you have the cursor object, so inbuilt they have provided the execute function. Okay, so this execute function you can actually utilize to execute your queries. Okay, to execute your queries. So you just need to pass your query to that execute function, because you already got your connection to the database, okay, by using the connection string that we provided. Okay, and then you just need to execute the query with that connection. So you have the cursor object already created, and this cursor object, on top of this cursor object, you can apply execute function which you already have, and just pass your query. That's it, just pass your query. So and then you can commit the connection. So the connection commit will be utilized to reflect all the changes in the database. Okay, so here if you see, you executed a query from a Python program to a database that is there in the local system. Okay, let us validate whether our changes got reflected or not. Okay, So we have established a connection to the retail DB, and we have created a new table called EMP underscore ODBC. See here, the table got reflected here. So we did not executed any queries in our workspace, SQL Server workspace. We tried to execute a create table statement from a Python program. We were successfully able to do that, right? ID, name. Okay, fine. So similarly, you can insert the data also into the table. Insert into EMP underscore ODBC values 1, comma, king. Okay. So when you do this, it will insert the record. It will insert the record into the table. Okay. So it will insert the record into the table. So let's check that as well. Select star from EMP underscore ODPC. Okay. Guys, are you able to understand? Are you able to follow what we are trying to do here? We are trying to create connection and cursor objects. These two are the very, very important, guys. So these two steps are very important. Then what you will do, you will prepare your query in a string format. Okay. And you will pass that query to the execute function, which is there inside the cursor object. Okay. So these things we already know, guys, what is an object. Okay, how we will create an object. So the same oops concepts. So your Python have that inbuilt packages, and we are trying to create the object for those packages, and then we are trying to utilize the methods inside that objects or the functions inside that objects. So if you go and check your PyODBC, this is your pyodbc.py file, and here if you see, they'll be declared a lot many functions for the usage, right? See here, this is your connect function, and the same you are utilizing. Okay, so do not get confused. This is all we already know how actually it works, but you maybe forgot. So this is one function that is already created and given in the pyodbc.py file. As and when you do the pip install, what it will do, it will place that file in your Python environment so that you can utilize it. So pyodbc.connect. So that means your pyodbc is a file, and it has a connect function. Okay, and that function will take this connection string, and it will establish the connection, and it will return the connection object. Okay, now you have the connection object created. Once you have the connection object, and they have given a cursor function on top of the connection object. Okay, then this cursor, once you created this cursor, it will actually return the cursor object. Once you call this cursor, it will return the cursor object. Okay, it will just create an object for you. Then once you are trying to utilize this, then it will start creating the connections, and then it will try to execute the query by using all the objects that it has, and then finally we are committing that respective transaction or connection. Okay, at the end you will say connection dot close, cursor dot close, these things you will say. Okay, fine. Now we know how to create a table, how to insert the data into the table. Okay, for example, you have list of values and you need to insert one by one. That also is possible. So you need to put these statements inside the for loop, right? So at this moment, don't come back to me and ask, hey Venkat, what is for loop? Okay, so we have discussed a lot in Python, so you can go and recollect the concepts. So for example, you have a list of values, okay, or else list of dictionaries. Assume that you are processing a JSON file, or assume that you are reading a text file, okay, and you prepared a list of dictionaries, and then you need to insert the data into a dictionary. Sorry, you need to insert the data into a database table, right? So what you will do, you will iterate, and then you will load, iteratively you will load. Okay, so now let us understand the ask by Ranganath, right? So now we know we have the connection details, okay, or else for that matter, any project, right? It is a generic implementation that we do in real time. So what we will do, so we have the PyCharm environment and we create the project. Okay, we create the project. So how we will create the project? See here, new project. Okay, new project. And here I'll give the project name. So for example, my project name is, okay, uh, employee, or else emp underscore data, or else let's put like this, emp data loader. This is my project name. Okay, and here if you see, I have the interpreter type. Okay, base anaconda project environment, right, or custom environment. You can use the virtual environment also, or right now I am using this particular environment. Okay, then what it will do, it will try to create a project for me in real time. This is what the first thing we'll do when we start a project. Okay, but most of the people will join in between once the project is created. What they need to do, they need to pull this from the git repository. So people will maintain a git repository where we'll push entire the project code. So that git repository, from that git repository, we'll pull this project into our local. We'll open it in our laptops. Okay, and then we will start our development. So these are the pretty inbuilt things that we'll get when we actually create any kind of a typical project. Okay, so let me you can also delete all this stuff. You can also delete all this stuff. So under the project, people will create a package. Okay, for example, here if you see com dot, okay, venkat dot training dot examples dot, okay, examples dot database. See here, this is my project structure. We'll call it as project structure. So under this project, I have a com Venkat training examples database. So this is my package. Okay. Under this, I will create my Python file. Okay. Or else I will create my folder structure. For example, here I will create another directory src where I have the source code. Okay. And again, I will create another directory called utils. Okay. Where I will place my, commonly utilized or generic functions. Okay. And similarly, I will create another directory for config. where I will create all my constant variables and all, right? So in your project space, you need to link all these using the oops concepts. Okay, using the oops concepts. If you're not using oops also, you can directly import that Python file into your code space and you can do things. Okay, but you need to prepare these structure, or the structure will be already created by your senior employees in the project. Okay, so they will give it to you. So now let us take a database example only and try to execute and see how actually we can place this. Okay, so now here, if you see, I will create a function. I will create a function which will actually try to do this in a generic fashion. Okay, which will actually try to do in a generic fashion. So what do I mean by that? So here, if you see, in real time, how we will do this is what I am trying to explain as per Ranganath asked. So here, if you see, I am creating in the utils, I'm creating a Python file called utils.py or utils. Okay, now I have this Python file. Okay, so here I'm placing this pyodbc. Okay, so in here what we will do is, let us say def get underscore conn. Okay, so this is your connection. Okay, in this get connection function, if you are trying to connect SQL server, okay, if you are trying to connect SQL server, or else we'll say db owner username password and db name. Okay, this is the function that you are creating. If db underscore owner equals to SQL server, okay, then what I need to do, I need to prepare my connection string. Okay, I need to prepare my connection string. So I have the username and password. You can also pass the server name also. Okay, so I'm getting server name, username and password. Even you can pass the driver version also to this function. So what I need to do, I need to prepare my I need to format my string according to the variables that I got from the outside. So format of server name equals to server name. Okay, or else you can do this way. Maybe this format is not working, so let me do this way. F. So this is the one way of string format. So you are passing the variable that you got from the function input to this connection string. Okay, so similarly you have the database also is coming from the function. Okay, and similarly the username also f username. Okay, and similarly the password This is string interpolation. We'll call this concept as string interpolation, guys. So we maybe used formatting in our classes. This is also one way of interpolating your variables into your string. Okay, meaning you're dumping your external variables into the string wherever you want. Okay, so now you have the connection string ready. Okay, then what you will do, you will simply prepare your connection. Okay, and then you will simply return cyn comma cursor. That's it. So now your generic function to work with multiple databases and multiple usernames and multiple passwords. So whatever the username and password you send to this function, it will get connect, right? So in real time we do things in this way. Now this is done. So this file is done utils. So where actually this function will be generic now. So now in src what I will do, I will create a file, my application file, which is actually emp data loader is my application. Okay, so emp data loader is my python file also. So here what I'm doing, I'm actually trying to import utils. Okay, let me do this from where com, yes, com dot venkat dot. So where is my training dot examples dot database dot, where is my file, guys? In the utils directory dot utils. Okay, from we need to give, sorry. So from this particular python file import everything. Okay, done. So here what you will do, you'll create class, or you create function, or you write line by line, but using oops is something that you need to follow. So here simply what we'll do, we'll create a class, or else I'll just create a function simply. Okay, so def execute, or else def run, right? So this run, inside this run, I'm creating all my details. Server name equals to db underscore owner equals to db underscore name equals to db underscore username equals to db underscore password equals to. Okay, okay, so here if you see, I'm using all these variables into my function, right? So here connection comma cursor equals to get connection. So we have this function already created in the utils, right? Get connection of. So we need to pass all these variables, right? Server name comma so these are the variables that we need to pass. Ranganath, are you following? Ranganath, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, yes, Venki.
Yeah, so this is the process we follow in real time. So you asked to drive this, right? So this is things I'm telling for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is how we do in real time. So let me copy things from the other project. So data engineering project. So I have this server, and then I have the database, and the DB owner is SQL server, and then username is SA, the password is okay. So now you prepared your details. These details may be not straightforward. In real time, we store it in a file, and then we'll retrieve it. These connection details we should maintain in a very secure place in real time. Okay, so we do encryption also for the usernames and passwords. Okay, and we create a encrypted file, and that encrypted file will read it into the code, and then we will try to use the details from the encrypted file. So we have to make sure our usernames and passwords are secured. So we should not directly write usernames and passwords in the code. Okay, be very clear here. For our example sake, we are writing it, but in real time it won't happen. Okay, so in real time, the way that we follow is more secured way, wherein we actually encrypt these username and passwords, and we store a file for a specific user. Okay, and we read that file into our code when we are executing it. Okay, so now we have the connection ready. Okay, so then what is the next step we need to do? So we just need to execute this, create or else execute the insert query. Okay, we'll say insert underscore query. Then in this case, insert into emp underscore odbc values of 2 comma Blake. Okay, so I'm just doing the insert query here, and then connection dot comment. So now this function will be called in the main. Okay, so here if you see, I have the main function. If we have the main function def main, okay, and then in the main you're trying to start printing the log, loading data to db table, and then you'll say run, and then once it got committed, it will return the status. So initially status equals to false. Okay, and then once it got applied, so we use exception handling as well in real time. So let me cover that as well here. Okay, so we put everything in the try, and then we say except. Okay, once if it is successful, then we change the status to true. and in the exception we'll change the status, we'll keep the status as is, and then we'll simply print failed, and we'll print the exception why it failed, right? So in real time, this is how we implement the more matured programs. Okay, so then in the main function I'm calling my run method. Okay, run method insert I'm calling. So this run will take input underscore type. Okay, so here you can simply prepare your query based on your input type, input underscore type. If input underscore type equals to insert, then you need to insert the data. If it comes as create, then what you will do, you'll prepare the create query. That's it. You can do that as well. So print inserted, and then status equals to true, and then similarly you will say another elif. Okay, input underscore type equals to create. Okay, then you will create a new table, right? You'll create a new table. See, in your presence, how actually we are building the application, the matured application, right? So here we'll say create table. Okay. ID int name varchar. So this also you can parameterize. Okay, table names, everything in real time, everything will be parameterized. We'll have a framework driven architectures in real time. Okay, be very, very clear. Okay, so I already shown you one real time example, right? So when we were working, I explained about a real time architecture. If you can if you try to able to recollect, so we have seen all the oops level real time oriented application, how we will do. We have already discussed it, but as Ranganath asked, so I'm just trying to put everything in place. So here if you see, I have the utils file where I have a generic function. Okay, and I have the main application file where I have the actual logic. Okay, okay, right. So this is how you do in real time. So you have a config directory. In this directory, you can actually place all your constants or configurations or any kind of variables that needed for your program. You can actually put that in the config directory, and source directory where you actually put the actual logic. Okay, and you'll write your code. You'll try to link your main application with all these directories. Okay, so this is how you write your code in real time. Okay, so we left with few more concepts today. So see here, The record got inserted. Okay. So we left with few more concepts, but no problem. We'll discuss tomorrow. It's okay. But Ranganath, hope at least you got some idea today.
Yeah, I mean,
So I request you to go back and see our recordings wherein maybe you missed that class or something. So we have discussed a real-time project also,
okay,
Rangnath. Yeah.
okay.
Here, if you see, we have discussed the I mean, all these things we have discussed. Correct? Everybody, I mean, you're able to recollect, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, Venkat.
We discussed this, right? We discussed this real-time project, is it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. So, Ranganath, go to the YouTube channel and try to see the Python classes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Fine. So that's all we have today, guys. We have for today, and tomorrow we are going to see few more examples uh, based on these connections, right? So we have seen only the basic database connection today. Tomorrow we will see the select statement, how we will actually we now we know how to create a table, how to insert the data from the program, but how to read the data into the program from a table, right? So we'll see that tomorrow, and we'll also integrate the pandas way of doing it, right? So how to read a query output to a data frame, pandas data frame, right? So we'll see that example as well, right? And then how to load data from a file to table. We'll see that as well. We have, let us take an example. I have a CSV table and how to load that into a table. So tomorrow's session is very, very important, guys. So these are all real-time use cases. Okay. So you should know all these concepts. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you when you got assigned a task in real time, saying that, hey, could you please write a simple Python script to load a file to a table. So requirements will come like this. So that time you should not get panic. Okay. So that's the reason upfront I'm actually explaining all these things. So tomorrow's session is very, very important. Do not miss. Okay. Tomorrow we'll close all the Python things. If possible, I'll go a little bit deeper into the real-time project if time permits. Okay. We'll discuss more concepts, real-time project related concepts also tomorrow. Okay. That's all I have for today, guys. We're already running out of time. Thank you so much for joining once again tomorrow.
Thanks.
Thank you, Venkat.
Thanks.